Hello everyone. Today's topic is um, actually I had to think a little bit to decide today's topic because yesterday was also I was thinking about the same thing, how to ask help from the divine. You know, it is very simple. One thing that you have to know what is that you want to ask, whether you want divine intervention happening in your life, whether you want exact very particular solution, or you want the divine to give you the best of the solution, or you don't know what to do and you just want to hand over and do whatever they do for your higher self based on the situation, whether we want an information or a issue to be sorted out. We have a free will on earth. Using that free will to the fullest, we can always ask something from the divine world. It is very simple. We don't have to pray, it just have to be sincere. For example, you have a classmate or a colleague or some relationship, family, friends, whatever it is. You're in need of something. Small thing, big thing, even if it's something simple as, hand me over the spoon. You would be asking, see, this is how it is, right? You know that you want that spoon, right? And in another circumstances, you go down and sit down with your counselor, your parent, your family, your loved ones, and you spill the beans. This has happened. So you just want to know what to do, and they would give you another perspective of actually what happened, because people's perceptions are also can be different based on how mature, how immature, how spiritually inclined, and what is their point of view of their life is, and whether they are in a anxious, angry, or little bit offbeat, or they are in a calm, peaceful, properly perceivable space to see the truth. And just like any parent or any counselor or a friend or anybody who would listen to you and give you a secondary opinion about actually what happened and the solution if you're asking for it. Divine is something they always give you what you asked. So be very mindful. Do you want them to intervene on your behalf and do the thing that needs to be done? Or you just want the best solution to happen? Or you have a particular need that this is exactly how it is and you want that to happen, you don't know how to make it happen. Like, you want this, for example, you want particular mark in this examination, like you exactly need 85% to get into certain college, and your goal should be final stage of the decision. Means your goal is not supposed to be, for example, if a college takes 85% as a cutoff mark to receive that entrance examination, entrances, our goal should be, when we are asking something from the divine, our goal should be admission to the college, whatever section that we want. It is not the 85%. So even if you choose that 85%, there is no guarantee that you would get into that college. See, having to understand what you truly desire is very, very important. Final stage. Like, for example, if you want to buy something, if whether it's a fruit, whether it's a dress, then it should be clearly in your mind that I want to buy something. Either you want to buy something expensive, whether you want to buy something that's very comfortable irrespective of however they cost, whether you have some color in your mind, or anything that makes you happy, irrespective of color, design, its texture, whatever it is. For example, I usually there are a lot of times that I disliked color, this baby pink, long time ago, and I was thinking about buying a mobile cover, and I was thinking about something that I would truly enjoy, I truly like. And I went to the shop, and out of all the things that I saw, I literally picked the pink one. It was not completely pink. It was long time ago. It must be pink, but it had a little bit different color as well. If you know, I bought it, and it served me really well, despite me literally not liking the baby pink at those time. I literally would avoid during those time to no not to pick anything that's baby pink color. And suddenly it's because I wanted something that truly I enjoy, something that you know satisfy my desire. My expectations was satisfaction. So when I went to the store, I literally I did picked from my own hand and I bought it. It was a long time ago. So this is all the simplest of the things that I say. It is just to give you the clarity, because there is a saying, no, think before you ask from the universe, because you may actually get it. Simple example, if you expecting something to happen in your life, whether you want that person to feel remorse for that, or you want the apology from them, or you want to heal from that situation, these kind of things matters, because that person may apologize, they may not mean it, you may not get satisfied from it, that person may actually feel remorseful and it may never make you feel satisfied still. But if you actually feel that you just want to heal from whatever happened and you ask for that healing, that is actually what we are supposed to ask from the divine. So when we are something that we are asking from the divine, it's always better to pause and sit down if it is very important, and think from a perspective of what it is that I really want to experience, whether it's just some obligation that needs to fulfill. For example, I'll give you, if somebody desires to eat a 12-course meal or something like that, just say somebody wants to eat a 12-course meal, even if they receive it, they may not get satisfied with it as well. Even if they get the 12-course meal, they may feel like they paid a big amount, it was too expensive, maybe some dissatisfaction, whatever it is. So if somebody truly wishes that they want that particular satisfaction, particular happiness from certain experiences, it's better that we directly ask for that happiness, that satisfaction. It doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be particular 12-course meal or whatever. Even if it's just 10-course meal or 5-course meal or some 6-7 things on a platter could easily satisfy our hunger and taste bud both. So when we are asking something, it's better to be mindful of what is that we want from the divine. This is the first part. This is clearly deciding what is it that we want. And secondary, asking the divine for it. When we ask something from the divine, it is just we have to have a faith. Asking once is enough. Once we asked, we let go of it, and we have to convince ourselves. People with high vibration, it's easier to do. People who are riddled with lot of confusions or doubts or anything negative, they may have to affirm themselves a few times, or no, I asked for it and it's done. Every time, whether somebody is spiritually inclined, whether it's a logical person, emotional person, whatever it is, whenever that doubt, that fear or confusion comes, it is our responsibility to affirm that we have asked this from the divine, because divine always provides the best solutions under the circumstances of whatever we asked from. It may take certain time for certain things. So it's always better to have faith that it's been asked with the divine and they're doing it and it's done. And until that shows up in my life, I have to keep faith that it is how it is. This second is very important. Asking the divine and having a faith and keeping the faith in our heart. Not for the sake of anybody that you believe in, a god or an angel or your ancestor or anybody that you believe in, or you just believe in the universe itself, the source. It's for ourselves. We have to have faith for our sake. When we understand these connections, it becomes a little bit easier to do all of those things, because when you go to a restaurant, order something, and people usually doesn't think too many times after you go order it, the food will come, isn't it? You don't doubt. And if you can believe a restaurant to deliver your food to your table, it's better that we trust the divine, because divine is way better than humans in delivery. It's just that because of the life on earth, why I'm laughing is I had to go through a lot to learn these lessons in my life. I had to go through a lot to learn these lessons in my life. So I'm just remembering a little bit of this and that. And this is truly amazing when we let go of that control issue. See, what happens is, as I always say, we are a soul experiencing a physical, body, a human body. So when somebody tries to call themselves as I and relate them to this body as I, that is the ego talking. Not the ego that they say, no, I did this, I did that. That is proud feeling, that is completely different. The ego of the body and mind is understanding that this just is me. When we remove that ego and understand that we are all connected, all souls are interconnected, and we are always connected to the divine world, and we are all divine by birth. When we remove that earth's identity, whatever name we have, whatever we education, career, this that are attached to this body, and we clearly understand that I'm a soul, so I have a higher self that clearly understands that factor. And when I let go of this control issue that comes because of the human experiences, I connect myself to the divine. And then when we are connected, when my higher self and divine connects, that's an easy bridge that anything can happen. Like whatever we wish, that's how it is. That is how people create miracles, by believing in, having faith in it, because their desire is too strong. So this is how we ask something from the divine and have faith and let them deliver whatever we asked. So being mindful of what we asked and having faith is very important. And the third thing is divine, we just need to ask once and let go. Because of the free will, if somebody keeps asking, is this happened, is this happened, is this happened, means you are confirming yourself that you're still in doubt. Free will says yes. So if you yourself convince yourself that it's done, means that it is how it is done. It's a concept I can connect myself to is superpowers. It's easy to find people who really want this kind of a superpower. We all have this superpower. We just have to understand this is how it is. We desire, we embody, and we believe, and we have faith, and whatever path that leads us, it's better for us if we let the divine lead us, our path. They make the plan, they execute it, and we just living that life. It's way better. So this is how we can actually ask something from the divine. And what happens is, sometimes we ask for some guidance, some information. It can come through a different way. And prayer is something that people do when they know they are in a fear, doubt, or confusion, or They don't know what to do. They need a connection. So people pray because it's a process that gives them some relaxation, some freedom from anxiety, that confusion, that fear and doubt. And but when we deeply connect ourselves to the divine world, just closing our eyes, being very sincerely, we can directly connect to the divine world, and we can literally communicate with them like how a child would call its parents from the divine world, and they appear. We imagine, we believe, we have faith, and they're there. Because of the free will, we can use it to the fullest that way. And what happens is, prayer is something that we talk to the divine. When we meditate, it is us listening to the divine guidance. People who are in tune with their intuition, or people who are less fearful, it's probably easier for them to understand a lot of these things. But when we are particularly intentionally focused on having a communication with the source or the divine world, asking and then letting it go, deciding that it's done, and only we have to focus that my answer is already mine. And it's not like that waiting. No, it's done, because the time is always present. No, they don't have, if we are a human and we may need a little bit time to do this, gather information, do this and that, divine doesn't need to do that. They already know a lot of things. They have access to a lot of things that we don't have on a normal basis. So when we ask some information, it can come to us immediately if we let them. So asking and distracting ourselves and thinking something else, maybe daydreaming, because my spirit guardians always used to tell me that, let go of that fear, let go of that, when I'm receiving this message, this kind of thing, let go of that kind of a thing, because your energy is the one that used to block the messages from us to reaching out to you. That is what my spirit guardians used to tell me. Because of our thought, energy is something that probably certain people can see, certain people cannot see, that kind of a thing. That kind of a thing, if we are in a very calm and very relaxed mode, it becomes easier for the divine to reach us out and to hand over the information or whatever the guidance that we actually ask for. Even people who ask for what is next, what is my next step, how about my future, or whatever the thing that we ask, it's up to us to a certain extent. Desire something, want something, and believe that this is how it is. Because we want something means we want something. We desire for something means we desire for something. Without questioning it, accepting and letting that go is the best thing that we can do. Unless I would just cross that once. One thing is wishing for something negative towards someone else. That is something that I would rather not suggest. When it comes to doing something good for ourselves, for our healing, for some solution, guidance, protection, healing, or anything, upliftment, nourishing, nurturing, some kind of solution, any kind of a solution, or a career breakthrough, or a relationship, or regarding the future, whether you're someone who's interested in a spiritual growth, whether you want to know how the earth works, or whatever the question is, how many stars are there, instead of checking in the Google, we can directly ask the divine. I used to ask these kind of questions when I was very, very young, a child basically. It's an amazing experience to have a connection with the divine world and directly receive message from the divine world. We have to practice it. We have to practice it, and it's that is how it is. This is how we can connect ourselves to the divine world, and we can receive a lot of messages, clarity from the divine world. I hope it helps.